and out in these conditions.
That's why when I hit my target yesterday at VWAP, I got filled horribly because it just whipped really quick.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it here. That wick is nasty.
So I got filled at 71. I was like, are you fucking serious?
I'm actually tripping out how I didn't trade Monday and Tuesday, and I don't even know why. 28. 0 trades. Did anyone else take trades Monday, Tuesday?
I think so. I think this is the only trade I took, maybe. I did take more.
I think you took a demo.
Oh, demo, yeah. I don't count those.
I got my shit pulled up already.
Yeah, Monday was me coming back from Big Bear, and I'm just looking at everything I did. I even wrote in all my notes, like, I took a lot of losses, but I was just like, I just think my mind wasn't right because of the break.
That's actually what Carmine said about his recent week. He had gone to some other state, and then when he came back, he was gone for 2 days. And then when he came back, he said he felt like he was forcing stuff. And then the next week, he went to Miami for another 2 days. And he said when he came back, he felt like he was forcing stuff again.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Those
it yet.
vacations, better be careful.
No, for real. Or
I
at
feel
least
like after
find a way to stay disciplined on your vacations because I just forget everything when I'm out.
years of information just went out the window.
It's like I couldn't wait for that break, but I guess that shouldn't be the mindset.
What I feel like you should do after a vacation or an extended vacation is take a day off that first day of trading and just observe that day.
Yeah,
that's true.
Just to get the routine and everything back to where it was, to get the feeling again.
Yeah. Because I think when you come straight back in, there's like an urge to almost take a trade because you missed 2 days or however many days.
Yeah.
As if taking a trade would like make up for your time off. It's more like you would just if you just observe, you'll make up for your time
if
off.
You make a good trade, it could make up for your time.
Here you go.
Bro, I write notes even when I win trades of like why I shouldn't have taken that trade.
That's good though. Figure out your mistakes. All right, what are we? 100?
Yeah, 28.
Hey, is your friend gonna join us every morning now or what?
I don't know. I don't even trust his consistency.
YOLO 2 contracts every morning.
He's crazy. He's a true gambler, so that's why I'm just like, I don't know.
And he's like, Eric, what are we doing today?
He likes to go to Vegas and gamble, so it doesn't surprise me that he just got in the Discord randomly and was like, I'm gonna try to make some money today.
Oh, hell no, dude.
That's fucking crazy. He cracks me up, so I'm just like, fuck it.
Does he have Bookmap at all?
I'll give you play. What?
Does he have Bookmap at all?
That's the thing, like he knows more than your average person about this because he would sit with me in that office I had. So like he knows how to use Bookmap just because of TOS. And like he knows how to chart supply and demand. He just doesn't do it. And I'm just like, bro, like you know so much more than the average person and like just don't put the effort. But he'll like still take a trade.
To be fair, it's a lot of fucking work.
Fuck yeah. Can you guys see my book map?
Yeah.
6:30.
I just got my laptop.
Oh, for real?
That shit's tight.
Did you use it to trade already?
No, I just got it last night because I was working, but Edith wanted to go pick it up at the mall. And I have a fucking hard drive that I had recently backed up my whole Mac to because I needed to do that update. And the fucking hard drive Or at least the fucking laptop has no USB ports. That's annoying as fuck. So I gotta find that adapter.
That's
Oh,
what I
but
hate about fucking Macs,
Don't
dude.
start, Gabe.
Delete out everything. It bugs me.
it has the US whatever. I forgot the name of it. The small one, right?
The little like thin oval that has like not
Yeah.
even, yeah, just like the newest one that's coming
Like
out
the
for.
charger.
Yeah.
The USB-C.
Yeah, USB-C. And you knew the answer and you had me struggling over here.
Kind of high.
So for this day, it rallied all pre-market. This looks like a very un like buyers were not super interested based on the candles. It kind of look weird, at least small. But if you look at CVD was rising all morning. And then if you look at the buying volume, it was just mad aggressive all morning going into the 6:30 a.m. I had a supply zone at 55.50, which we broke into in pre-market, and then my supply zone was pretty large here for some reason. I don't recall why exactly. But I didn't have anything up here. I'm not too sure what. Do you guys have zones up here in the 80s?
My bad. I'm pulling it up.
I didn't screenshot my shit. I forgot.
Slacking.
I did. Let me just pull it up. I'm behind.
How do you review if you don't screenshot?
This whole week I forgot to screenshot. I don't know why.
You get off at 12 every day?
No, 8:30.
Oh.
Just on Saturdays I get up 12:30.
I had a gap. I didn't have any supplies, but I had gap downs. I had two gap downs. One of them was closed, but I kept the line because I like to see if it's going to be used as like resistance. And then I had another gap down and then a key resist, but like all above yesterday's high.
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't trade because my zones that I have as key levels were see how price reacts at 55.50, 55.64, and we ended up breaking past it. I guess not here in the open, but we did. It was just too early for me to make any decisions. And then watch 55.33, 55.27, which is this demand down here. So I didn't. My levels weren't really hitting this day. Um, so I'm assuming that's why I didn't really take a trade. Fucking take a trade. But we could go ahead and see how it reacted at these lows here near yesterday's high. I think that's yesterday's high.
The one thing I hate is like CVD is like that's what I've been studying lately to try to understand that and the little graph line next to it. Yesterday CVD was just a fucking bitch. Like it
Oh
was
hell yeah!
telling us
That shit tricked me. Fuck yeah!
so much, bro.
I think that actually you since you didn't we're not in the review last week, you kind of missed some good information, but we talked about how because Gabriel had asked me if I still use outliers as a way to enter positions, and I told him that I'm more like an outlier is another level of confirmation of my setup, but I'm more interested in the low SVP area and to see that like so if the market's making a move and then I see like oh we have a low SVP area, so I want to see a pullback into that low SVP area, and then I'll zoom out and see like oh is there an outlier in anywhere around here, and if there is an outlier then that just adds another level of confirmation, and then I look at CVD, see how is that, yeah, if we're pulling back is CVD making a lower low compared to the whole CBD in general. And then obviously Valium, I want to see aggressive selling come into that zone and not break through, and then see buyers start stepping in. We'll see how this plays out here around 55.55, which is basically this low SVP here. Um, I'll just mark a box now. I've been doing that too. Like if I see a low SVP, I'll like just put a box there just as a reminder, like, okay, this is the area you're looking for. And sometimes it just doesn't work and I have to delete it, but I
I
feel
did it all the
safe.
time too.
55, 55.
Why'd you say you put that box?
If it's like a low SVP area and uh, I'm interested in what price is gonna do there, I'll just put the box just as a reminder. Even looking at this right now, like I see here there's a low SVP area. And looking at over here, it's interesting to see these heavy limit orders sitting there. Although we passed this area already, it's just interesting to see that buyers or orders were wanting to,
Interesting.
yeah, interested in that exact area that my low SVP is in. So maybe there's not an outlier here, but there is interest from participants because the limit orders were sitting there.
It's crazy. I used to ignore all that shit.
Yeah. So this is going into the
Bro, it's
open.
crazy how we
Obviously,
used to think that outlier was the setup.
I know.
that's what I was telling Gabriel yesterday. I was like, I wonder what I don't know or what I still don't know. Like I
I
used to think
know.
I understood Bookmap, but obviously I didn't.
Like the confidence y'all used to speak about everything a year ago. And I mean, I'm not tripping it, but it's just kind of like I've even come to my moments of like confidence, and then it's like, and then there, and it's not that the confidence gets disproven. It's just I learned something new to add to the confidence, but it kind of lowers your confidence in that moment.
Yeah. I just wish Carmine said the outlier is just one piece of the puzzle. He never said anything like that.
I think I learned that content creators need to keep people wanting to come back.
I think
Um,
also though, he almost somewhat recently, like when I started joining the Discord, was when he barely integrated Bookmap into his teachings. Because people have asked him like, "Oh, when did you start using Bookmap?" And he's like, "I've been using it like since order flow since I started. I just never introduced it to people until recently." And I realized when I first started using Invest to Trade, that was like him barely introducing Bookmap. So I feel like he's still like learning how to teach it.
oh, okay. Damn, thank God we fucking entered right when he
I
learned
know.
Send Book, man. Because imagine we had to learn it now.
That would suck.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, even right here, look at how the market pulled back aggressively and these limit orders came in. A heavy seller stepped in and it popped up with aggression here. Tries to pull it back, pops up with aggression again. Right here, pops up with aggression again. CVD did fall here, but it didn't make a lower low compared to the opening, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
I wish we could put a charting. We can chart that little CVD line.
Dude, I see sometimes I hover over it and it shows me the number and then other times it doesn't. I don't know why though.
I've never
Just
seen a number that.
watch. Maybe here it'll do it. See, it doesn't do it. Sometimes it does though.
Have you guys been using TM Lite? I haven't been using it.
Yeah, I like it better.
I've just
Because
been
look at
using it.
how
Right.
well, I guess it's not as obvious here. Sometimes I feel like there's too many lines on this one. And on TM Lite, I could see the lines clear.
I happen to use it just because it's what it opens up with.
Oh, Bookmap just tossed mine out.
You think it's
Dude, look
using?
at that. Go
I
ahead.
would say, is it using energy that like you have them both open? Not energy, but like, is it slow down the computer?
Maybe.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But one thing I said last time too to Gabriel was when when the price comes down to your level, I might have said this in the chat too, but you want to see the price pop up aggressively at that level, even if it's not the move, you just want to see that aggressive pop. So here, this is the open, it pops up, it pulls back down, limit order sitting there, aggressive seller steps in, and the market pops up aggressively. Tries to pull down, pops up aggressively again. Tries to pull down, pops up aggressively again. So that's one, two. You could almost consider that three tests of this area. And then on this fourth test, it pulls down, limit order appears, and you see this aggression step in. So that would be your sign to enter. It's already past 6:35, so past the 5 minutes of the open. So I'd be open to taking this one. If we go back a little bit, limit order sitting here, 55.55. Low SVP area starts right there. Some aggression. You either have to get in on that aggressive push or like right here. But especially after three tests and these quick pops, you gotta try that if it is your level.
And you gotta
So
like
that's
remain calm like those three jumps to realize, oh, a fourth opportunity is coming, because you missed that
yeah.
third opportunity and you think you missed it all, especially since it broke that previous high. And then that's like another thing I'm learning. It's kind of like after like a loss or two, like I just give up and I don't even want to look at my screen, but it's like 6:55 and it's like you got to stay in, bro, like there's more coming.
Yep. And especially look at this pullback here and look at CVD. Over here, CVD dipped super low, slightly broke under here, and then starts rising again. And then on this fourth pullback, CVD didn't pull back to the same kind of low. So it made a higher low. And that's a sign that the sellers are losing steam there, especially it made a higher low on Bookmap and on the heat map. It made a higher low on CVD. And you can even say it made a higher low on the chart here. Where's 40? 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40. Oh wait, this is in 1 minute. 1, 2, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. So this large green candle. So it made a higher low on everything. But that's what I'm saying when when the markets come into my levels, the exact things I'm looking for are one, low SVP here, two, CVD, make sure CVD is aligning with my thesis of like sellers are losing steam. Three, the quick pops at my key level to show me that buyers are interested. Four, the limit orders are appearing to keep price up. And that fourth test, I guess, would be the fifth. Third to fourth test, I want to see that aggressive buyer step in. So everything basically aligned here with my thesis, besides having a clear demand zone here. All I had was yesterday's high. So I wasn't very keen to take that long. But if there was a demand zone there, um, that's definitely a setup I want to be taking.
Do you feel like you still only focus on trades in your zones? Because I know I lack there.
It is something I emphasize, but say the market bounced. I think I've said this in the past too. Say the market bounced off. Say I had a demand zone here and I didn't catch this long. I am open to seeing the market like push up and then pull back into a low SVP zone around here to take if the target hasn't hit. Um, but I am still like focused on my zones because that is kind of the basis of everything.
I feel like I gotta
That
wait
was
for that.
get it does get confusing at times because it's like, fuck, my zone's down here, but the market's pushing up, my target's up here. So like you kind of really have to get a feel for where the market's trying to go. That's why with the CVD, paying attention to the CVD right at the open helps me and like just getting a feel for direction. Because if CBD's rallying like this, then it's gonna kind of give me a bullish sentiment. Um, but obviously this ended up selling off crazy later. We could see that too, see how that played out. But that long there was super clean. I don't think I even seen that. Oh, actually, I did write it here. Best setup 55.54 pullback 10 minutes into open to 55.78 target long. Three pops on retest, fourth tap took off. Limit orders were key support. So I did see it. It wasn't my demand zone, so I kind of hesitated. Um, but already looking at this, like not even having too much more information. Look at how much aggressive buying is occurring here with all these limit orders sitting here. This is a sign that if this doesn't break, buyers could be losing steam because they're trying, even if you look at volume, it's pushing up super aggressive. Bubbles are large. What sizes are they? 700, 300, 300. It just wasn't a key supply zone for me, but you
I
can see the bunch of buyers. What?
I weirdly have. I don't even know why I charted it. I'm sure if I were to go look back, I'd find out. But on my screenshot, I have a key resist white line that I just happened to put on there at 55.79, and it reverses at 55.78. And I'm just kind of like, I didn't even like this is what I mean by I forgot about taking trades in my zones. Like I'm like not even paying attention to my zones anymore.
Yeah, that I think that's gonna be an ongoing thing because I even see Carmine. Sometimes he'll be like, I realized looking back at my trades, I haven't been trading in my key levels. So that probably does become an ongoing thing because one, we have emotions tied, and two, like you just may slip up at times. So I think that is something we're all gonna consistently be going back to, like, oh shit, remember your key levels are a key component to your trading. Because there is gonna be times where you don't take it at your key level and it does work out, and then that's gonna start making you think like, oh, like my levels aren't working as good, so let me try these other areas. And they may work out for some time, but then conditions change and your levels start hitting again, and it's like, fuck, that's not working anymore. Oh shit. Was there news? It's not till 7:30. What the fuck?
Dallas Fed. And I'm starting to see the importance of when Carmine says keep your charts clean because I'm looking at my screenshot and like I'm just like in the morning I try to start finding things like consolidation zones that I'll chart like and I'll put a very light yellow box and then I'll put like a trend line like it's obviously like a short term trend line and like I'm not paying it like because I'm looking at my screenshot and my trades and my zones and it's like I started taking trades based off the consolidation and the trend line other and then not paying attention to my zones and it's like too much noise like it's starting to make sense why he says it's too much noise because now I'm not paying attention to my supply or demand
That's
zones.
why rather than paying attention to the consolidation on the actual TOS chart, I'd rather see like say the market's moving and I see this low SVP area. I want to see the low SVP area first and then look at my chart and be like, "Oh, there's some consolidation here." So this low SVP area kind of makes sense. Like it makes sense as to why the market may want to reject if it pops back up there or something like that. So like a big thing I focus on more than anything right now is low SVP area. And then I see if those other things align with that low SVP area. Because if I see consolidation and it's a heavy SVP area, a high SVP node, then I'm gonna be more cautious of like, okay, I could get trapped if price gets back into that area. Unless it pops in and rejects super fast, then that could still be a play. But if it pops in and it chills there, that's a red flag. One thing I was gonna say about this one here, it's not very clean, but well, it doesn't look the same. You can see every time the market popped up with volume, it was around 70. It's not super clean. So the lowest VP area you could say is from 75 to 78. It pops into 75 slightly here with volume. It's rejected. Pops up into S with volume to 76. It's rejected. And look at the how it sweet it like aggressively pulls it down. Although here it aggressively pushes it up. So it could be confusing on this one. But the large volumes step in and then right after it dies down, it dies down, it dies down. So that right there, those three things, these three areas could be a sign like a sign to us that okay, buyers are losing their strength here. And then you have to just be patient for the sign of sellers stepping in, but it looks like some news came out. So like say you wanted it to be under 75 to show selling pressure, this would have to be probably your entry because it pulls down, pops up. That's scary. I mean, it's not a bad stop though. 78, 4 points, but
I like how it broke
I
that
would
heat with the big outlier, and then it came back. Like to me, that seems like a setup because it's kind of like, oh,
say
there
that
was
again.
the way it broke the right there at 71, that big outlier. So there's all that heat, all the limit orders set right there that it broke through. And I just happened to take that one winning trade that I took this week was that, and I think I was like, oh, I'm just gonna retest that because it's like it obviously broke through it. It broke through those limit
I just
orders.
I just don't know what caused this. If it was news, I would not take it on this retest.
Well, I don't think that's not news. A
I don't
seven.
even know what.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But the fact that an outlier built up there and it broke through it,
I just want to see what happens here. What time was that? 6:40. What time is this? Is that? Oh, this is this here.
yeah, came back up with the next candle.
50, 52. I mean, yeah, it is something.
And
But
then,
where's your stop here?
uh-huh.
Because for me, that's a far stop. 78. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whereas if you did this 74, you have 4 points of wiggle room there. But even here, what would have made this cleaner for me was if a heavy limit order, I mean, the same concept you're saying right now is kind of occurring there. This limit order breaks and then it tries to pop up and doesn't get back above that. But I would have preferred to see like a heavy limit order reject here to give me confirmation. So compared to this setup down here that we had, the bounce, I would say this is a plus setup, and I'd say this is like a B plus. Just because it doesn't, maybe to someone else it would be like a cleaner setup, but for what I'm specifically looking for, it doesn't set up the way I'd like it to. But it is a low SVP area. Buyers do end up losing steam. Just the way the entry would have been is kind of hard for me to grasp
do
here.
you ever use previous areas as importance, even though price already went past it? Like zoom out from when it opened, and there was like a prior high that you're about to see, like that high right there at 6:30, right at the open. It's exactly where that outlier and it broke through is at.
Fuck, I didn't even realize that. I honestly,
To me, when it broke through like that big extreme time that you see the high, the new high, to me it's kind of like those are little just tests of like, all right, wait, what? Like the way I remember a while ago you said it tends to test yesterday's high or yesterday's low and then chooses its direction. Where obviously that first high isn't yesterday's high, but that first peak isn't yesterday's high, but it kind of like broke above it a little bit and then came down aggressively. And it kind of, to me, I just added that to the theories of like everything wants to get tested. It doesn't mean it's like that means, oh, it's going up now. It's kind of like, no, it went up, it tested it a little bit, and now it's coming down. And then I guess I would have been like, I can't find a stop. I'm just gonna go with that last high. I'm not gonna go with the extreme high.
Wait, but for what entry? Where would you enter to put your high here? I mean, your stop here.
Yeah, because it's the exact same price, so I'm not 100% sure.
Because, like, say you use this candle as this pop here as your entry, 67. The previous high is 68, and then the outlier is at 70. I guess if you put your stop above this outlier, like 70, maybe, using this as your entry, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, that's a 4-point stop. But I would say it's higher risk. I mean, like, higher risk of it not working out.
Mm-hmm. It is like a random guess. I'm just trying to make something work, but it is like not the best RR.
I don't know, Gabriel, what do you think of that?
But
Like, when the market breaks higher a previous high here and leaves an outlier, would you use this as a key level?
if it's near my key level,
Yeah, see, like he still wants his main key level to be his area of interest.
Yeah, and
It's not like this happens now. I'm gonna use this as my key level.
Yeah, it wasn't like a for sure thing.
Now we're just making the setup about the outlier as opposed to like everything combined. Because outliers appear even at random spots, even if it's above a previous high or whatever, and it looks like, okay, that's the previous support, it's gonna break or whatever. Even if it's near that, it could still be at a random spot on TOS that doesn't necessarily make it a good spot to enter a trade because it's not a significant area. If that makes sense. Like if we're gonna say an outlier appears right here at a support, if we're gonna say an outlier appears right there at a support, and then we're gonna take a trade, we're just making it based off that outlier.
Yeah.
But according to that book you sent me, Gabe, I forgot the dude's name, the short book. He was like, but once you get the direction, like once you understand the direction, then you should take trades based on the direction because that'll give you the higher probability. So I'm wondering, is there a way at this point, at the reversal of the highest high, to be like, try to develop an understanding of, I think it's now going to reverse. And then therefore, now I'm going to take trades based off the direction I think it's going to start going in.
I mean, that could work, but you got to look at the long-term direction. Because if you're just looking at the overall direction on the 5-minute, it's not really reliable. So what he's talking about is the overall trend. Because the trend, I mean, look at the
daily.
Yeah, the 4-hour daily. Like, because
right.
Look at how many times it broke the trend. It broke an uptrend, and then the uptrend broke the downtrend and all that stuff. It could happen so many times on the 5-minute. So you have to rely on the longer term for that.
You're right.
But I mean, it could still work. Like if you took a short from the top, and you could have still made money.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
I see where your head's at. Like it's making sense. It's just we're making the setup about the outlier now. Where it should be about everything all at once. Even if you're talking about the general direction, that's also only one part of the story. If you have at least for me, 3 or more confirmations is good enough to consider entering a trade. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think one thing you have to really remember is you wanna take trades that are higher probability of working in your favor. Yeah, it does look good and it could work, but is it a high A plus probability setup? If it's not A plus, that's why I only took like 2 trades this week because the setups I was seeing, to me at least right now, they didn't look A plus like this one. Although now I'm saying I'm looking at it and I'm like, "Oh shit, this was a pretty A plus setup." I didn't have a demand zone here, so in that current moment, it was an A plus because I just personally didn't have this as a marked zone, although it was yesterday's high and it did hold it a few times.
You won both of them, right?
Yeah. Oh, I took
Nice,
a losing trade, but then I won it with my second trade.
nice.
But yeah, for this day, that's all I really have. Time is this 7?
I'm gonna end this video in case the next one is gonna make this like an hour long one.
All right.
Oh shit! It's already 8:40.